Thank you very much, you who is watching us live on Creative Digital Media. We are also live on the Mbarara University of Science and Technology official YouTube channel. And we are coming to you live from the Innovation Village here in Mbarara. And what brings us live this evening is something, heaty, something that will be able to, prove to the world why this is actually called Mbarara University of Science and Technology. We are on the battle of, making sure that we get who sits in the Guild presidential seat for the year 2025-2026. And this one here is the official must Guild presidential debate for this year's contestation. Now, in case you just joined in, you need to actually be able to share the link, have more people coming on board, and this should be able to run as smooth as you're able to expect. We have a few people, joining us in the audience because we wanted to, make sure that we have at least some little bit of order compared to what we had last year for those veterans that have lived long enough to be able to compare notes. And because we are starting late, you will allow us dive into this whole debate immediately without much ado. We are holding this debate on this date, Saturday, 5th April. The year is 2025, and we hope to be able to get done by 7 p.m. in this evening. We have two candidates participating, NRM and NUP, both fronting candidates. It's the first time we're seeing these two of them tussling it out in the whole race, and we hope this actually goes smoothly. We have a few participation guidelines for this debate for both those that are following us live online and those that are within this very room, but also to the candidates. To begin with, to candidates, to avoid interruptions, each candidate may only enter this debate room with not more than 20 people, 20 supporters, and we have successfully done that. We expect candidates to address us with some bit of professionalism, with much respect at all times, refraining from personal attacks and somehow disrespectful conduct. We may not tolerate, some provocative statements, especially those that are a little bit personal in an abusive language. To the audience members, thank you very much for arriving on time. Most of them arrived way before the candidates. We've had people waiting for us to go live online. Thank you very much for keeping time. But all audience members must actually adhere to designated seating arrangements that we have put together. We do not expect someone to cross over. And we are talking to Mbarara University of Science and Technology. This is not any other university. And this, we believe, should be respected because you guys are must. You are eagles, you're not chicken. You fly high just like you should be. Noise-making instruments such as vuvuzelas, whistles, drums, horns, and any other disruptive items have been actually prohibited, learning from what happened here last year. Audience members should engage respectfully, posing clear and concise questions when permitted to do so. But general conduct, we still have the right to remove anyone from this room that is disrupting the debate or violating these guidelines that we've read. There are not so many really, and we are talking to Garant Mastelians that we know are actually learned, and integrity comes first. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching us live. Allow me to invite our candidates next to the floor. We will be able to run chap because of time, but trust me, we will have some cool evening, some entertaining evening. We will be able to test the intellectual capacity of each of these two candidates. Candidate number one, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome on the floor Comrade Sebiatika Henry, the NRM candidate. Yes. Comrade Sebiatika Henry does BS Physical, and we'll give him an opportunity later to tell us about himself. Who is this man that wants this seat? And please, that is a polite way of saying the moderator today is not going to read anyone's profile. We want them to tell us who they are. The next candidate to come on the floor, ladies and gentlemen, is Comrade Ariho Lake Rwabturumba, who is the National Unity Platform official candidate for this year, 2025, at Mbarara University of Science and Technology. You who is watching us live, and you can hear the support in the background. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I should be able to have my seat equally, and when we return from this just 1 second break, we should be able to dive straight into the debate this evening. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, you who is watching us live on Creative Dictum Media once again. And just like that, we are now diving into the Masgiri Presidential Debate 2025. We are going to be brief because we already lost a few hours, and this is going to be our flow tonight. We will expect candidates to be able to introduce themselves in not more than 3 minutes each. After that, we will be able to have some structured questions to both candidates. And these questions are going to be, based on the following. We are looking at student welfare and accountability. Question number 2 will come from academics and digital transformation. We'll hear about governance and transparency. We'll also tackle inclusivity and gender equality. And we'll also hear around campus and community relations. Immediately after that, we will have direct candidate crossfire, where each candidate will have one challenging question that they put to the other, and each candidate will have only 1 minute to respond to such a question. We'll then switch to the audience. Audience that is live here will be given a chance to ask 4 questions. And it's an estimation that we could be able to have 2 questions from each team. We'll do the same from audience that is following us live on YouTube, 4 questions. And candidates will have 2 minutes to answer these questions. We'll then have closing statements from each candidate with 3 minutes for each to close. And finally, we'll be able to call it a wrap-up for this evening. And just like that, we dive into straight our discussion this afternoon. In case you have any question, please, on the for those of us that are following us live, drop every other comment. Let's cheer up our candidates. And first is to request the audience to clap for yourselves if you don't mind, because so far we are exhibiting the best that we expect this evening. Thank you very much. On to our first segment of this session. Ladies and gentlemen, we dive into introductions from each of the candidates. Candidate number 1 is Comrade Sebiatika Henry from the NRM. Please take on the floor, and you have 3 minutes to talk to us about who you are and every other thing you want to tell us within your introductions. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Well, my name is Sebiatika Henry, a student at MAST, pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Education, Physics, Math. I am in my year 2. I happen to be the outgoing GRC Science faculty, and I am the outgoing Minister of Education and Professional Affairs. I am the Vice President of Equity Leaders Program, a program that was brought up to support students of upper faculty so that we can get for them internship slots in the financial institute. I happen to be the representative because I serve in very many associations. I happen to be the representative of science students on the executive of Bankosa, that is an association, a cultural association for Baganda. I stand before you today as your next guild president. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Candidate Henry. You have done it very well, summarized it in 1.5 minutes, and just like that, we could be able to, kind of keep time. But you just heard from Candidate Henry, and next is Comrade Lake Rabturumba from the National Unity Platform. Please, in the next 3 minutes, who is Lake? Thank you.
Yes, a good evening to all of us. Good evening to you, our viewers, and a good evening to our audience. I am Ariholaki Rabturumba, a 4th-year student of medicine and surgery at Mbarara University of Science and Technology. I have been a leader since my year 1, serving as a class president for 4 years now. And in that tenure, I have also served on the class president's forum as the treasurer. I have gone ahead to serve on the Mbarara University Medical Students Association as a publicity director. I have gone ahead to serve on the Federation of Uganda Medical Students Association, first as a publicity director, and second, which is recent, as a general secretary. I have served in our university, again in different capacities, as a GRC of James Flat Town campus. I was also nominated and appointed as a guild presidential advisor, though the position was mostly ceremonial, as I advised and nothing was done out of my advice. I have served at the international level. I am a Mandela Washington Institute Fellow. I have also served in the Federation of African Medical Students Association. My track of leadership is as illustrious as it can be. This is just a highlight. And I am here to bring the true leadership that has kept me going, that has kept people putting faith in me, to our students of Mbarara University of Science and Technology. Your 37th Guild President is here. Thank you, comrades.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Lake. I am equally a Mandela Washington Fellow, and I'm so glad to be sharing a room with a fellow of the same program. Let's now dive into, without much ado, dive into the structured questions and themes. And candidates, these questions will be able to pull out, they all answer the question of why should we vote you as the next guild president? But they are structured in different themes because we believe you cannot only serve, and as a good leader, you deliver only on one objective. And so these thematic areas are meant to see what you have as a package for us in your leadership as you be able to come. Now, each question, you're only using not more than 5 minutes to answer the question. So I would request that as we respond, we pay keen attention to time. Before we dive into that, I want to thank whoever is following us live on YouTube. Quite a number of you that are following. And when we get to questions, please, could you be able to drop these questions through? Our thematic area number 1 is student welfare and accountability. And the question goes, what innovative strategies do you propose to improve student welfare, particularly regarding housing, health, and safety? Candidate Henry Sebiatika, you have the next 5 minutes to tell us your strategies around improving student welfare, and particularly we are looking at housing, health, and safety. Thank you very much. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Modulator, for such an insightful question. I am here as a guild president, and you all know that what matters most is the students' welfare. Other things can be subsidiaries. Basically, we are here because of academics, and other things are subsidiaries. But academics cannot go on well when the students' welfare is not good. So, I have been tasked to talk about the strategies I am going to improvise in terms of housing, health, and safety. To start with, allow me to start with the aspect of the housing. We all know we have non-residents and residential students. Students that sleep around. Students that sleep around. These are the people that occupy these halls, and there are some people who come from outside the university. But I want to assure you that from the last semester we had a meeting which took place at the University Inn. This meeting was intended to bring together the students' body and the owners of this institution. The owners of this institution, I mean the administrators, plus, can you communicate? So,
please, we request maximum order, at least to be able to give the candidates time.
I had a chance to have a meeting with the owners of these hostels, plus the students' body. And from that meeting, our main outcome was that the Dean of Students should be in charge to supervise whatever is taking place in these hostels. We all know that from the recent regimes, from the recent previous regimes, we've seen some increment of the housing, the amount of money that these students pay. They keep on increasing this money without the consent of the students. The students are the stakeholders of this institution. However much, we can't take for granted that these houses these hostels are privately owned. Hello, these hostels are privately owned. So they are privately owned, but our say as a guild, we are saying there should be a tight supervision on the standards of these hostels. As long as the hostel has more than 4 students, it qualifies directly to be called a hostel. So we are saying, hello, we are saying supervision should be done from the office of the dean with the help of residential GRCs. Then,
audience.
The aspect of health. As a Minister of Education, this wasn't in my docket, but I started on this. You also posters that I pinned around the university, directing every student how they can access medical care at the referral. That wasn't in my mandate, but as a person who truly cares about the students' welfare, I had to improvise that. So, I had a meeting with the director of the referral hospital. Yes.
Order.
I had a meeting with the director of the referral hospital, whereby we had a fee waiver for maybe costs that can be incurred when a person visits the health hospital. So, the best you can get from the university hospital, the university clinic, the best you can get from there is Panadol. So we are saying, please behave. So we are saying that we should find the reason why we are paying these functional fees. If we cannot empower the Minister of Health so that it gives clear direction of how we can access medical services at the referral hospital, then we are still lagging behind. There is a moment whereby a person is left with only 5K in his pocket, but you have to get that money and buy for yourself medicine. Yet we are paying functional fees. To me, literally, that is not fair for students that pay their functional fees. Then, on the aspect...
Candidate Henry, you could be able to summarize in 1 minute, please.
Thank you, sir. On the aspect of theft, allow me to inform you that as a guild president, I directly qualify to become a member of the council of the Mbarara Municipal. So, I am here. Yes, I directly qualify to become a member, if you didn't know. But that is the only audience I have to lobby for my fellow students' security. Because personally, I am a resident of Katete. I am a resident of Katete. I am a resident of Katete.
Audience, please.
I am a resident of Katete, and we have had very many insecurity issues, insecurity concerns. But it is not only that we need to improvise by at least going to these places.
Thank you very much, candidate Henry. Unfortunately, time is actually well spent. Thank you.
So, let me summarize.
Okay, please summarize. 20 seconds,
yeah.
Yes.
So I am saying, for safety not only ends at...
Please, security, I would want to request that you come closer. The most common disruptive individuals will actually be forced out, unfortunately.
Security does not end at these are outside the university, but also as a student leader, as a plus student leader, I find a need for improvising security inside the university premises. So very many people lose a lot of their equipment during the examination period. You realize that a person leaves there a bag, but you don't find there a bag. So during examination period, I am saying as a guild president, if we can provide a place where people can keep maybe their materials, their phones, their books, and their bags where they can find them, they can access them after them doing an exam. Actually, that one will stop insecurity issues around even the university. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, candidate Henry. You who is following us live. That was candidate Henry Sebatika from the NRM, and you could be able to hear some of his propositions are coming out loud and clear. Let's listen from candidate Lake Rwabturumba, going for the same question. What could be your strategy when it comes to improving student welfare, particularly we're looking at housing, health, and safety? Thank you very much. We have 5 minutes.
Yes, good evening once again, our viewers and our audience. Allow me to first of all remind my fellow Guild presidential aspirant that Mbarara is now a city, and it has Mbarara City Council, not Mbarara Municipal Council. And secondly, I would also like to educate him that the person or the government structure or body which is responsible for security in any place is the district of the resident district commissioner. Well, unfortunately, unfortunately, that is still a failure of our
Audience,
government.
please. Audience.
Resident city commissioner, please. Yes. So now to dive into the question, first of all, to begin with housing. We used to have a time where all the hostels accommodating Mbarara University Science and Technology students were licensed and contracted by the Dean of Students' Office. Yeah? We used to have a time where year ones would find a list of the approved hostels, and they would select and go and sleep there. If you slept outside the designated hostels, it would be at your own risk. That culture has been dropped by the Dean of Students' Office. Now, unfortunately, the guild leaders that we have been having have probably not been caring about this quite basic but very necessary part of our accommodation. We are here to change that. Yeah? We are here to collaborate once again with the Dean of Students' Office to license, to supervise, and to make sure that these rentals or hostels outside, especially outside the university, follow the right guidelines, yeah, after immense supervision, after ensuring that they are very secure, after ensuring that a student who is sleeping there is not at risk of being terrorized, yeah? So our guild leadership is here to do that. Now, allow me to also tackle something small about that. Security, yeah? In relation to housing, allow me to touch security as well. We have a community, especially Tasso Village and Katete. Yeah? Katete is one of the most unsafe residential communities around Mbarara. Yet, we are bordering with the police community. Yeah? We have a barracks in our own community, but our students are still facing insecurity cases. How should that be acceptable? You know, a University of Science and Technology, in fact, the police barracks, I have made my research, is seated on university land. Yeah? How should they sit on our land and fail to provide a bare minimum of security? We are going to collaborate with them. We are going to start negotiations and discussions to provide security for students.
Okay? Loud and clear
now,
there.
To come back to housing a little, we understand that rental contracts are actually legal documents, but very few hostels that accommodate mass students have rental contracts. Students just come and go and sleep. That gives the freedom to landlords to increase rent the way they want, whichever way they want. We want to actually compel all these landlords around accommodating mass students, be it in Tasso Village, be it in Kacheka, be it in Mile 3, be it in Mile 4, everywhere. As long as there is a mass student, we want to compel them to actually sign rental contracts. In that, if they dare make a mistake of increasing these rent fees abruptly without informing our clients, yeah?
Okay.
If they dare make that mistake,
Comrade Laka, you have 1 more minute. Yes, please.
We shall actually take them to the courts of law.
Audience, please.
And we shall take them to the courts of law, and they will face the legal repercussions. Now, finally, to help, allow me to educate and inform our viewers that we have 2 university clinics which have fully employed physicians and nurses. But these people barely do their work. Yeah? We have clinics which are supposed to be fully stocked. But these people barely do their work. These clinics are barely stocked. Now, who is responsible? Again, Dean of Students' Office. We are going to not only remind them that they are supposed to stock our clinics fully, but we are also going to collaborate with the hospital so that students can easily access their services from the clinics. Because we understand going to the hospital is key and very important, that we have a plan for it. An ID should be enough going forward for a mass student.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then finally, on that point,
if you could be able to summarize in the next 20 seconds,
yes,
that will be able to.
Finally, on that point, Chiumuro campus, which is the main campus, has a clinic in the Gents flat. Now, in our regime, we are going to make sure that this clinic is shifted during day, especially, is shifted to either first building or FCI building, because most of the students who go to Chiumuro campus barely step in the hostels, yet they equally need these medical services. So we are going to pull the clinic to the faculty so that every student can access this service.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Comrade Laki Ramturumba there. You've just had yourself an opportunity to share your ideas, and I want to thank very much those of us that are following us live. What you're doing is definitely commendable. Now, the next set of questions, you only have 3 minutes to answer these questions, and we'll be able to allocate 1 minute each for counter response from another candidate in case they want to kind of give information from what you're submitting and something like that. We then head to the next thematic area that we are focusing on this afternoon: academics and digital transformation, and basically innovation. And the question goes, how will you actually advocate for improved academic resources, including internet connectivity and digital facilities? How are you prepared to advocate for improved academic resources, including internet connectivity and digital facilities? Candidate Henry Sebiatika, you have 3 minutes to share with us about how you are actually ready to advocate for academic resources. We are giving examples: internet connectivity and, say, digital facilities.
Thank you so much, Mr. Modulator. Maybe before I start on my point of submission, I want to educate my fellow aspirant that the hostels around us, they are private enterprises. There is no way you can make a contract with these people, yet the taxes in the government are increased. There is always abrupt increase in the taxes. So there is no way, as a guilty president, you can stand on your grounds to influence the amount of money that these hostels are going to be paying the students. Thank you so much. So,
Candidate Henry,
okay, thank you. Let me get to my question.
Slightly before that, this one here is a debate, and at that, from Mbarara University of Science and Technology.
Yeah.
I would want us to be objective while we put out issues. Candidate Lake suggests that could we actually revive what used to happen at the time. Audience, please. Audience, please. At the time I went to Mbarara University of Science and Technology, it is true that we used to find gazetted list of areas that we could be able to choose to. Like, I can choose to go to Kiswahili, but if you go there, we have, as a university, we have talked to these 5 here. This is how they charge, and this is how they handle their security. Are you saying that actually is not practical, or it is not necessary?
Oh, I thank you so much.
Audience, please.
Thank you so much. So my point is...
Yes, audience, please.
My point is, these hostels being given a license, that is okay. It is very okay. But my point is, you cannot influence the amount of money that is paid in these hostels because it is a private enterprise.
Okay. Audience. Yes, thank you very much, Candidate Henry. You got your elaboration clear. You can please continue. Please continue. Yes.
Okay, so I was tasked to talk about the academic resources, how we can advocate for academic resources. Hello, can we communicate? I was tasked to talk
Comrades, we need to communicate. Thank you.
How we can advocate for the academic resources, particularly to start with internet. Now, there is one thing I want to talk about internet. You see, internet, from the 5 guild regimes we've been having, it has been a political slogan for these politicians. But now as a leader, I'm here to clarify about the issue of internet. Mbarara University of Science and Technology has EduRoam as their internet. But this is a government-sponsored internet that was provided to public universities. Yes. So, the problem we are facing with EduRoam is about the bandwidth of this internet. We have all the servers. However much we are looking up to increasing the bandwidth of internet, but we shouldn't underestimate the fact that the server system is very old. So, I've made some research from other universities. When you visit Makerere University, they are not totally relying on EduRoam. Makerere University has its own internet, that is Mac Air. Mac Air, you can access that internet even if you're outside the premises of the university. But as Mbarara University of Science and Technology, as an innovative leader, I am saying we should put in place our own internet as must. We shouldn't depend on EduRoam. We have a population of over... Yes. We have a population of over 6,000 students. They cannot entirely depend on this internet. You realize that some people are saying even the VPNs are even stronger than this EduRoam we have. But my point is, if we can have in place our own internet as Masterians, just like Makerere University. This is also a public university like other universities. So if it is possible at Makerere, we are fast-moving university. We shouldn't underestimate ourselves. We can make it as Makerere University.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So,
Candidate Henry, if you could be able to summarize, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I am a person,
Audience, please.
I am a person who has been advocating for very many resources. Maybe to inform you, we are here basically for academics. Other things are
Comrades
just
in the camp
subsidiaries.
of NUP, kindly, let's give this gentleman audience. Thank you very much. Please.
We are here basically for academics. Other things are just subsidiaries. Yes. So, in case you didn't know that, we are here entirely for academics. So,
Okay.
we should prioritize these resources that we need in place for academics to take place. So, as an education minister, I've written very many letters to the academic registrar's office requesting for these materials, such as projectors, whiteboards, so that we can put, we should favor the academic progress of our students.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
as a person,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
I am
Please.
just coming from that field of academics, and I'm good at when it comes to lobbying. But let me tell you this:
Let's conclude, comrade.
as a leader, we don't need a leader who is good at verbally making comments. We need a person who can come and lobby for these things. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, candidate Henry, for those insights. Very vocal there, especially on the issue of internet, and quite clear there. And I'm telling you, this one here is what you get if it's a debate from Mbarara University of Science and Technology. This is exactly what you get from Mbarara University of Science and Technology. I can assure you, audience, we honestly need to give these people time and the audience they deserve for us to be able to understand their agendas. Let's hear from Comrade Lake Rapturumba there, answering the same question. How are you ready to, advocate for improved academic resources? And we give you an example of, for instance, internet connectivity and digital facilities. Please, in the next 3 minutes, if you could be able to summarize that. Yes.
Sankara, our moderator for today. Now, allow me to begin again by educating my comrade that, first of all, EduRoam Wi-Fi, yes?
Please continue.
EduRoam Wi-Fi is an internationally accessible Wi-Fi. And in Uganda, it is licensed and provided by a company called Research and Education Network Uganda. Now, this company is facilitated and resourced by its member organizations. So MUST, as a university, actually pays money to RENU to provide EduRoam.
Yes.
Now, I am coming. This is what our leadership is going to do.
Candidate Lake, do not mind.
Yes.
Audience,
We have
your
already
microphone is
started-
loud and clear.
We have already started negotiations with RENU to, first of all, bring us more routers. By the way, we had a MUST Wi-Fi, MUST student Wi-Fi. It is still there, but it is as weak as, it is very weak. It is very weak. So RENU has actually done something, and we are going to partner with RENU to provide more routers of EduRoam. Now, allow me to remind you that every router goes for just 250,000. We need about just 10 million Uganda shillings to put as many routers as we want in both town campus and Chiumuro campus. Yeah? This is about 40 routers. And trust me, with the money collected from the Students' Guild body, this money will be there, and we shall do that. Now, allow me to tackle something else. We have a lot of challenges in our academics as math. We have a lot of missing missing linking gaps in our academics as must. We have students who are doing practical courses and they barely do any practicals. We have students who are doing innovative courses in the Faculty of Applied Science and Technology and Faculty of Computing and Informatics, and they are barely doing any applied science and any computing and informatics. Yeah? Our leadership is here, first of all, to foster and promote innovation. Encourage students to innovate more, shine a light on them so that they can actually be encouraged to innovate more. Secondly, we are going to advocate for more practicals to be put in place and for more resources to be put in place to facilitate these practicals. Yeah? Our leadership is here to change the academic sphere of must, and those who do not believe, trust me, we shall find you there in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Finally,
Candidate Lucky, if you're able to summarize in the next 30 seconds, yes.
Finally, we are going to create more rooms with high-speed internet where students can go with HDMI cables and be able to access high-speed internet. One of the rooms, internet room in Chiumuro and L3 at Town Campus and the library. So we are going to put internet ports, RJ45 ports in all libraries in the university so that students can access more high-speed internet. Thank you so much.
Comrade Lake, before you leave.
Yes.
Before you leave, Comrade Lake.
Yes, sir.
You have great promises.
Yes, sir.
Let's dive into the practical side of them.
Yes.
Most of your strategies, Comrade Lake, for this question involve spending money, big money. Let's start with what you ended with. Installing internet placements in different areas. You also talked about a 10 million budget, if you remember, for routers. Is this money coming from the guild? Is this a policy question that you're going to advocate and push to the administration? What is the clear strategy of us finally having an internet space or internet cable that you're talking about, the routers that you talked about? How do we arrive there? In 1 minute, thank you very much.
So much, moderator. Now, allow me to remind us that, first of all, some of the things that we are thinking about doing have people who are responsible for them, and that those people are administrators. But the Students' Guild, is supposed to be working for the students. Unfortunately, we have a lot of
audience comrades.
We have a lot of misplaced priorities.
Okay.
Allow me to sadly tell you that the outgoing regime spent, for example, over 60 M on a freshers' ball. Now, why should we spend 60 M on a freshers' ball when we can just pick 10 M of it? Yeah? When you can just pick 10 M of it, and spend it on a project that is actually going to impact the lives of my students.
Okay.
But without stopping at that, we are going to partner. We are not going to do this alone.
Okay.
Yeah, we are going to partner with different, in fact, even Creative Campus, I think, could be a partner. These are companies who already have a lot of connections out there, a lot of people who are passionate about making the lives of mass students better as far as academics is concerned. We cannot do this alone. We are going to partner, we are going to dialogue, negotiate, and bring more people on board to help us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Lake there. And the strategy is actually, he preaches. You is viewing us, sorry about that, because we have a lot of interruptions in the room. But I was saying that Comrade Lake preaches prioritizing of the budget allocation and the likes. Thank you very much who is watching us. We have 200 people following us live, and quite a number of them. Nimsima Jovia, Mtusimi the Trifin, Nakaita Tendo, Mosimbiko Joel, Peter K, Deogracius, Tumusime, Jime, James, Milkman, Yiga, Hafizu, quite a number of you following us live. Resti, Pal Mutesi, quite a number of you following live. We are going to have just 2 seconds or 5 or 10 of them for a break, and when we return, we dive into the next set of our questions. We have our candidates. We have an interesting, set coming around where candidates will be able to ask themselves. We have another set where you could be able to bring in your questions. We have another set where the audience is going to be able to bring in some questions. All this happening in this debate tonight. We will be right back. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Now, in the interest of time, you is watching us live, we will be able to cut short every other, kind of thematic areas to be sure that at least we finish on time. Now, the next important thematic area is actually governance and transparency. In this segment, candidates are going to tackle 2 areas. We want to hear out their policies, what tops their agenda when it comes to policies, advocating for policies that actually favor Mbarara University of Science and Technology students, but also what's their take when it comes to transparency. Okay? So candidates Henry and candidate Lake, we want to dive into something simple. You are aware that the guild president pushes policies. First, I do not want to go into a nursery debate of asking which policies do you know. We believe that you know some policies at must. What tops your interest? Could there be unfair policies that you want to tackle first? Now that should be summarized in minute 1. Minute 2, could we look at you telling us how ready you are as a guild president to champion transparency? We're talking about accountability and the likes. Okay? And now, to be fair enough, we've been starting with Comrade Henry. On this very question, we're starting with Honorable Lake Rabturuma. Take us through your policies, or what tops your policy side, but also how ready are you to actually advocate for, transparency or exhibit transparency within the guild management. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Moderator, I will be back from the break, our viewers. Now, allow me to start by reminding us that this academic year alone saw the introduction of 3 unfair financial policies.
Okay.
One, the increment of guild fees from 20,000 to 50,000, which was an increase of over 250%. Two, the introduction of a policy that compelled year ones, by the way, abruptly, it wasn't even in their admission letters, that compelled year ones to pay all their guild fees up front, in that a student who had come after budgeting only 50,000, some had to be forced to pay over 200,000. Now, and then thirdly, we had the introduction of a recess fees policy for students of medicine and surgery year one. Now, allow me to also remind us that it is not only these students who are actually doing recess. We have students in first doing recess, but they do not pay for it. We have had students in must doing a recess semester before in the Faculty of Medicine, but they have not been paying for it. So why are these students being forced to pay an extra 800K for recess? Why should that be a reality for our year one students? We are here to reverse, first of all, the recess fees policy. It's not like we do not want a recess. It's actually good because it lessens the burden, but we cannot allow it with these blatant tuition fees. So we are going to advocate, remind the administration that they owe us a role, and they should reduce this. Yes, thank you so much. Now, we are going to advocate for the adjustment of the surcharge policy. Allow me to also remind you that when it was introduced, it was students had to pay over 100K if they didn't pay their tuition by the 14th week. So now, but it was reduced after students standing up for their rights to 30,000. Unfortunately, we are in the 10th week of the semester. That 30,000 has already gone to the accounts of our students. Now we want to push, because it takes effect in the 7th week, we want to push that surcharge to at least start taking effect in the 14th week, so that parents and students have enough time to collect this money. And then finally, we want to advocate for an 80% tuition policy, in that every student who has paid at least 80% of their tuition fees can be able to do their papers without having to first go to the AR to explain why they haven't paid that remaining 200K.
Okay, let's summarize.
Now,
let's summarize, yes.
Allow me to remind you that we cannot actually do this alone. And when that time comes, we shall seek feedback, seek reports, we shall even do research from mass students to see how these things are affecting them, so that we enable the council to make informed decisions. Then finally,
let's talk accountability, please.
Yes, transparency and accountability. The Guild Constitution clearly states that the executive is supposed to give accountability and reports every 3 months, which is a quarter. Now, I have been a GRC. We have been demanding for accountability and reports. Those things have never been given since the regime started. Yeah?
Okay.
Now, our regime is going to give quarterly Guild accountability reports, which will be accessible to all students of this university, and after being scrutinized by the Guild House, the 37th Guild House. Thank you so much.
Let's conclude with a statement.
Yes.
To reiterate on what is coming out from the audience. There's a question.
Yes.
What did you actually do about that? Yet you were appointed Guild Presidential Advisor.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please, audience, please. Audience, please.
Thank you so much.
Audience, please.
Thank you so much.
Okay, yes.
Now, if you go to the Guild Tribunal,
yes,
yeah, there are documents. If you ask the Guild clerk, they have documents of all the statements which have been made on the floor of the Guild House. Yeah, if you ask, they will show you. They will show you a petition, an action agenda which was put on the floor of the 36th House. This gentleman was a member. He can prove the same.
Okay.
I demanded for accountability in the last Guild House, and no accountability was given. Now, again, allow me to remind you that using the same tactics that our current ruling regime in the country is using of appointing people to silence them. That is what the former president has been.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ekubel, to have you said. You very well articulated that. Yes, thank you, candidate Lake. Let's hear from candidate Henry. Yes, please. Go ahead. Let's have audience, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. Actually, I'm just happy today that the allegations that we've been hearing that the Minister of Education signed the policies, at least someone has been able to come out and say they have been signed by the guild. So I think with that I'm happy. So allow me to talk about the aspect of the policies, the unfair policies. Actually, we have over 37 policies, and I'll urge every Masterian to visit the website of Mbarara University of Science and Technology to know your freedom as a student. So, but my main interest is the unfair policies that were passed without our consent. To educate my fellow aspirant, the research semester was not passed this semester or in this regime. It wasn't passed in this regime. A research semester, this thing has been brought. It was passed in the regime
audience,
of
please.
His Excellency Chiemba Musa.
Let's give him
It was
audience.
passed in the regime of His Excellency Chiemba Musa. But I find it hard someone campaigning saying that the Minister of Education signed this policy, yet I was in year one. So let me talk about,
Please.
allow me to talk about the increment of guild fees, upfront payment of guild fees. As the statistics guild house, we sat and agreed this money shouldn't be increased. Personally, I was in year one. I know what a year one student goes through by that time. We all agreed that this money is not going to be,
Just continue. Your microphone is well loud and clear.
But only to see that the guild president is sitting with the advisors to pass this money without our consent. So for the issue of our policy, this policy personally helped very many students of year one to sit provisionally for their exams. I spent the entire week in office. These people failed to register simply because of this money that was increased abruptly. But to me, as the Minister of Education, I had to give them support. So that they can sit their exams provisionally. I helped over 120 students sat their exams provisionally through my powers as the Minister of Education. So, I believe
let's conclude.
This place, the advisor will be able to tell us why did they pass these policies without our consent.
Okay, candidate Henry.
The research semester. This is something that was brought. It is very good academically, but then the way it was implemented, you can't say that in 10 weeks we are going to have one course unit. One course unit paying 800K.
Candidate Henry, just proceed, please.
We are.
Please.
We are paying. I made the research from other universities.
Candidate Henry.
Yes.
Please.
I made research from other universities.
Candidate Henry.
Personally, I'm connected.
Let's come back. Let's
The
come back.
problem is if you don't want to learn from your neighbors, you remain behind. So as a person who believes in research, I made research from Makerere University. These people don't pay any single coin. They just provide for themselves accommodation and whatever to eat. But my point is, we should make a survey to get the view of students, because we've had the version of the administrators for the research semester. Let us also give chance for students to also give us their ideas so that we can have something to put in place.
Okay? Candidates,
Then,
it's okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I am on the issue of accountability
Please,
and
yes.
transparency.
30 seconds. Yes, yes, yes.
I am on the issue of accountability and transparency. Last Friday but one, our house, statistics house was called off. But then, to inform you, students of Mbarara University, when we receive your money as the guild, we share this money equally, 50-50 with the sports union. But in this regime, even the sports chairperson failed to come and give accountability. Up to now, students, you should be aware. Hello, up to now, a sports chairperson has failed to come out and give up a file of how much he spent. But we are saying, this should be stopped. These people withdraw money without the consent of the guild president. They end up wasting the students' money from the accountability they gave us.
Okay. As please, time is fast spent.
From the accountability.
Candidate Henry, let's just conclude there.
From the accountability that
Time
we are
is
given
fast
from this
spent.
department, we were told that over 80 million was used just in the East African Games. That's what I'm saying. If people don't have, if people don't, this is entirely students' money. These people should be held accountable. We cannot leave this to go on. So,
Candidate Henry,
as a guild president, I will make sure that this sports union come back to the guild. You should be held accountable. You are wasting the students' money, but we are saying that has stopped. You should give accountability. Thank you so much.
yes, okay, thank you. Thank you very much who is watching us live on Creative Dictum Media. Please, let's calm down. So we have not more than 20 minutes to close. And we want to use that time to make sure that candidates respond to your questions. This is the format we are using. Audience is giving us only 4 questions. We expect a question from a lady, that is Team Henry, and a gentleman, that is Team Henry. We also expect a question from a lady, that is Team Lake, and also a gentleman, that is Team Lake, okay? So please, this is how we are going to be able to run it. And colleagues that are following us live online, please also drop your questions. Randomly, we'll be able to select 4 questions that actually also go to the 2 candidates, okay? So please, which camp is ready with the first question? Mention the camp or the person you support, and please summarize your question. We are asking only 1 question, not more than that, okay? Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. A good evening to everyone here. My question is to candidate Sebiatika Henry. Candidate, on multiple instances, there have been observed deficits in effective self-expression, potentially resulting in psychosocial distress and reputational compromise at institutional level. For example, at the nomination rally, you showed that the only thing you could tell us after days of preparation was inclusivity. Now, how many assurances, or how can you assure us? How can assurances be provided that such deficits will not perpetuate a cycle of maladaptive representation as an academic entity, as an institution of science and technology? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Do we have a lady from Team Lake that wants to ask? Because we have one more slot for you. Okay. Please, we are out of time, okay? Okay, please.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Honorable Lucky Rabturumba, given that leadership is about track record and not just ambitions, can you honestly tell us what concrete achievements you have so far that prove you are ready to handle the responsibilities of the Guild? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do we have your lady ready? Okay. Let's hear from this one, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, moderator. Yes, I find out that we have missed out something in this debate which should also be vital, because yes, I'm asking Lucky. So the theme talks about shaping the future, whereby we also have politics in it. So from the decentralized politics up to the global level, we've seen stuff like Unity Pact at the end of elections, leave alone the political merger. But then, claiming to be pro-student, it is clear that unwavered affiliation is prolific in service, yet even the former has yielded results. So I want him to engage on that matter.
Okay. Let's have a final question from the audience here. Please.
Yes, a good evening to us all. My question goes to Mr. Henry. We get to know that in the recent time, let's please relax. We know that in the recent time, you wanted to come and you showed interest in coming for the NUP card. And we know that later on you went to the NRM. So I have a very simple question for you. Who is the current vice chairperson of NRM and the secretary general of NRM? Thank you.
Yes.
As simple as that.
No, he's asking for the question. He's asking for the question. He didn't hear. He didn't hear the question. He didn't hear. Repeat for him.
Please repeat so that
You stand up.
Hopefully I'm audible. Am I audible enough? Yeah, so I'm not going to say all I said before, but the question is, who's the current vice chairperson NRM and the secretary general NRM? Thank you.
Vice President, Secretary General.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, you who is watching us live on Creative Digital Media. This one here is, kind of a heated one that you are watching all through. And now, ladies and gentlemen, because in the interest of time, we are going to read 4 questions from the audience. So that's then after that, candidates respond to those questions, and we can be able to conclude on time, okay? Question number 1 goes to Henry. And this one comes from Josh King, who is following us live. And he goes, Candidate Henry, can you explain why students are being asked to pay full guild fees upfront for the entire program. Yet there is no breakdown of how those funds are allocated across the years. Okay? That's number one from you, for you. Number two for candidate Henry is, many students face hidden costs in practical courses, retakes, and fieldwork. What policy proposal do you have to address these invisible burdens? And how do you plan to fund or negotiate them? Okay? I'm still getting questions for Lucky. In case you're online, please, if you could be able to have a few questions, okay? Apparently, most of them are going to candidate Henry. Please, audience that is following us live on YouTube, if you could be able to drop questions for candidate Lucky there. Okay. Okay, let's have this to you, Comrade Lucky. It's coming from Aziz Mugamba. And he goes like, can you give us 2 or 3 concrete examples from your past as to how you have helped change the culture of this institution? I think they're asking about your previous. Okay, so he wants to hear out, in case you have helped in any way, your institution, Mbarara University of Science and Technology. And then we have, so that was Aziz Mugamba asking you, Lucky. We have Peter K. The question goes to you, Lucky, from Peter K. It says, will there be a decrease in guild fees once elected as a guild president? I think that's a little out of control, but yes, we go for those because of, in the interest of time. Aziz Mugamba, yes, your question has been very, very captured. I hope you really captured these questions, and each candidate is going to be given only 3 minutes to be able to respond to these questions, both as asked by audience and those asked online. Please, we are out of time, and we want to conclude in the next 10 minutes. If you can, please. Thank you very much. Okay, let's have Comrade Henry going first, yes. Yeah. Let's pay attention. He's answering all questions asked from the audiences here and those following us online.
Well, I'll thank the people for these questions that you have forwarded to me. Thank you for your submissions. Let me start with an external person from outside the university, that is Josh King. I have his question. Increment. He was asking about increment of guild fees. Unless maybe these people following online, they are receiving things after us submitting, but I believe I've talked about the increment of guild fees. This is something that was signed after us, the guild house, refusing it. So the best person to answer that question, is the advisor who advised the president to increase that money.
Comrade Henry, please just continue, please. We are out of time.
There is someone who has asked about self-expression. Maybe to take you through my achievements as an education minister.
Let's do some audience, please.
As education minister, I was able to lobby for the replacement of broken glasses in the science faculty. That is one. As education minister, I had an initiative of organizing the first edition of the interfaculty debate competitions. As the education minister, I was able I was able to make awareness of policies to students. So,
Candidate Henry, please.
as education minister, through my mandate as an education minister, maybe to give you some history from examination malpractice of maths from the previous semester, over 60 students were caught under act of malpractice. But as a Minister of Education, through the campaign I started as a minister, that number reduced from over 100 students to only 5 students. So, why am I saying that? Why?
Please, just continue.
Why am I
please.
saying all that? Why am I saying all that? I am saying all that because I have been able as the education minister to advocate for that. And I don't think that I've just written letters, but I've at some point spoken to these people who are concerned. So, it's a question that I can't express myself.
Candidate Henry, please, let's try to summarize all the answers.
So, I mean, this time around, we're not going to get to the clips. Then,
Candidate Henry,
well,
you have 1 minute.
Yes.
1 minute to
Okay.
conclude, please.
So, someone asked about the retakes. They asked a question about retakes.
Online.
What do I have?
Okay, please. Candidate Henry, do not be moved by this audience. We have people following you live, and we want to continue and finish. Yes.
I want to assure you, next time, personally, I am a finalist next time. I don't find it,
Please just continue and finish.
I don't find it important. I don't find it important for a person in your last semester, getting a retake, then you have to wait for another academic year for you to sit for that exam. As a person, as an advocate, I am pushing for proposal for supplementary exams. These people are always depressed, missing out just sitting an exam as a retake. These people should be given
Candidate Henry, you're out of time. We need you to go straight to the
to
point.
sit for these exams, because it is not a must that you getting a retake that you didn't understand things in class. So I am saying, in your last semester, you will be able to sit for a supplementary exam, not waiting for another academic year. That will help students not to drop out. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's answer. Candidate Henry, you have one more question that you didn't answer. Who is? Oh, okay. Okay. So, Candidate Henry, please, as you sit, someone asked about the vice president of your party and the secretary general. Please.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that discipline this time around.
Let's conclude. Let's conclude.
She started by saying,
please, straight to the point, please. Please calm down.
She started by saying,
Candidate Henry, just go straight, answer the question, and we go. Yes.
She started by saying,
please.
I beg for you guys.
Okay, Candidate Henry, please. Candidate Henry, please, you could be able to have your seat. Your time is fast spent. Thank you very much. Candidate Lake, please, take on the podium and let's hear out your answer, please. Please. Okay, so please calm down, please. Candidate Lake, yes, you have 3 minutes. We are closing. We have another activity. Please. Candidate Lake, please. Guys, please. Candidate Lake, please go ahead. Yes, quite there. I thought actually, you who is watching us live, I thought if your candidate was asked a question and you don't answer, you actually win as an opposite side. So you who is watching us live, that is obviously what is happening here at the grounds. Please continue. The audience online is following.
Those questions, to begin with, Honorable Lea Mutama,
Just continue.
the JRC of BS, asked what concrete achievements I have had as a leader in MASC. Now, allow me to remind you that 2 years ago, all students of MASC Year 1 and Year 2
Yes.
used to do their DVS paper on a Saturday. Now, this led to a number of students missing out on this paper over a period of their academic career because they were SDAs with religious affiliations. I was one of the leaders as a class president in my capacity and as a leader in Class Presidents Forum who advocated that that paper be shifted to Friday
Yes.
in the week before papers start. And I can assure you that in the past 2 weeks, no student of MAST has done DVS. In the past 2 years, no student of MAST has done DVS on a Saturday. Now, secondly, I have been a JRC of James Flat Town Campus, and I was able to advocate against the installation of circuit breakers, which had already started in Ladies Flat, and this was going to impact the welfare of students, in that students could not iron from their rooms, boil water from their rooms. We were able to advocate together with the current guild president for the reversal of that blatant policy. Secondly, someone asked a question about my pro-student agenda, which is a must for all agenda. This is an agenda with a slogan that says, for the many, not for the few. It is going to foster inclusivity. It is going to make every MAST student feel at home, feel at MAST, and it is going to allow every student to achieve and reach their full potential. We are here to work for MAST students. We are not here to sell them out to the administration. We are not here to welcome draconian policies. We are here to work. We are here to foster. We are here to advocate. And all students of MAST shall feel this leadership.
Okay,
finally, someone asked whether there will be a decrease in the guild fees. Now, this policy has already affected a group of year ones. Reversing it would be very unfair to them. And it is not even in my position to reverse that policy. So I cannot promise that it will be reversed. What can I promise? That all students of MAST shall feel their guild fees. Their guild fees shall work for them.
Okay.
Every student will feel that the guild is actually working for them. That is what our leadership is here to do. For the many, not for the few. A MAST for all agenda. Thank you so much.
Okay, so before you leave, thank you very much, who is still watching us live on Creative Digital Media. We are headed for the very last segment of this debate. Audience, please. We need to conclude this, and we want you to be part of this. Because as long as he continues speaking, his microphone is well set in his chest, so the online audience gets him clearly. He can still continue speaking and we ignore you. I request one thing though, because you're from MUST. This is the last segment. Each candidate asks a question to the other. They answer it and give concluding remarks all in 2 minutes. It means we only have the next 5 minutes here and we can be able to close. Candidate Lake, you have only 30 seconds to ask one challenging question to candidate Henry. Candidate Henry, before you're able to answer, you'll be able to also ask a question to candidate Lake. You'll help then answer and conclude. That will be the last time you're appearing on the podium. And finally, we also have him answer the question and we close this, okay? Thank you very much. Please, go ahead.
Comrade Sebiatika Henry, he has been the Minister of Education. Now, we have a very unfair injustice in the guild office, whereby associations, clubs that want to become registered in the guild office, which actually fall under his office as a minister.
Okay.
These people are forced to pay 100K in registration fees. I want to ask him, who takes that money? Where does it go? Where is the accountability for that money?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Candidate Henry, please take on the podium. Candidate Henry, please take on the podium. Before you start answering, you will also ask him a question. Then you could be able to tell us, help answer his question. Once you finish answering his question, please drop your parting line in a few seconds. Yes, please take on that. Yes.
My one question,
okay,
to the Honorable Labura Tulumba,
yes,
is, as he was giving opening remarks, he told us that he was appointed as a presidential advisor, and later his advisors were not considered by the guild president.
Okay.
But my point is...
Please ask the question, please.
So, my point is, did he take a step to inform the students that actually, it means that he's going to be a leader who's going to be silent?
A question, please. Question, please. Let's have a question.
He's going to be a leader that is going to be silenced and he doesn't communicate to students.
What is the question?
So, the question is, did he take an initiative of informing the students' leaders, the students?
Guys, please. Did you get the question? Did you get his question?
The question.
Please, ask him, yes.
The question is...
Yes.
Because I am a member of the Statistics Guild House, but personally, I didn't know that...
What is the question?
The question is...
Okay.
Did he take an initiative of informing students that my advisors were not taking?
Okay.
That is one.
Okay.
So, I'm answering my question.
Okay, please. This one here is a final wrap. This is a final wrap. Let's allow them answer the questions and that's it, okay? Please.
So, I was asked to talk about the money that we collect from the associations. He is right, we are registering new associations, paying 100K to the guild. This money is given back to the associations. For your information, I have only 6 registered associations with my office, and that is worth 600K. Some associations were made to pay half of the money because they were already existing before. This money was used by the same associations. Our role here is to make sure people enjoy their money. We are servant leaders. We give
okay.
associations.
Okay.
For example,
Candidate Henry, please
For
drop your
example-
parting shot, please.
For example, we all know that Mbumusa and some two associations, MOES and also MUPSA, they received support from the guild. So that was a part of that money, which is not even worth 600K.
Candidate Henry. Candidate Henry.
So, as I conclude,
Candidate Henry, please. Candidate Henry, please just call on your voters to vote you, and that's it, please.
As I conclude,
Yes.
as I conclude as a guild president, I am here to let all students of MUST know that it is time for the leaders to give accountability. The sports union
Yes.
will be held accountable.
Yes.
These people using our money.
Yes.
Simply because we cannot access them.
Yes.
It is time to end that.
Yes.
It is time we have a leadership that is student-based. It is time we have a person who can think about our own grievances as student leaders. So let's put trust in the action, not promises agenda.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's conclude here. Please, 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 please. Yes. You who is watching us live, that is actually what is happening here. Sorry about us making noise, but there's quite some big noise in the background, as you can be able to see on your screen, and therefore we have to stretch a little bit. Yes, please, go ahead. Just continue.
Remind us
Yes.
that my appointment as a guild presidential advisor was because of my very clear, proven track record in leadership. The guild president clearly needed my advice. Unfortunately, because of the greedy cabinet that surrounded her, she wasn't able to take on that advice, and she was actually able to do her own things
Okay.
under the guidance of her guild cabinet ministers. Now, I did not inform the mass community because this was actually a non-constitutional appointment. In fact, she broke the law in making that appointment, and that is in no doubt. Now,
Candidate Lucky, let's try to conclude. Yes.
allow me, dear mass community, dear students of this university, to remind you that the same people who have allowed this unfair policy.
Yes. That's it. Yes.
Your views shall be heard, and you will feel a part as a student of math. Thank you so much. The Math for All agenda for the many.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much who has been watching us live on Creative Dictum Media, and that was actually a wrap from candidate Lucky Adiho. And I'm telling you, it's quite a lot of noise here. We just have to be able to conclude it just like that. But at least we were able to pull some insights from this engagement, and I'm telling you, well, we are looking forward. I'm told there's a big, a hot seat coming through, and that should be able to have some, instincts that will allow you look for who actually to give your vote. For now, we are going to be able to stand here, hold each other's hand for a photo here, right here. Yes. Yeah. Just like that. Thank you very much for following live. We have, of course, more engagements coming from the Electoral Commission, and we believe, just like that, we should be able to make a decision on actually who to vote next for the Guild Presidency of MUST. From us at Creative, it's a wrap. Thank you.